news. This is from, because I think she's still on. And so she's trickling all this stuff down. So Candace Owens just revealed that 24 hours before Charlie Kirk was dropped, he messaged people that here is the clip of her saying this.
One more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me, okay? He did not express that to me, so I am
Sorry.
the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know, Catholic energy rising, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying that as a pot shot to other denominations, but it feels like for there's been a lot of persecution, and a lot of this for some reason has involved, as I showed you yesterday, pastors that have been a part of this, like part of.
Okay, like Candace does the sectarian thing. Since I got everybody's attention, let me just say this right off the bat. I am a Christian. I am not a Catholic or Orthodox. I do not hate Catholics or Orthodox. In fact, I like to learn more from the Catholics and Orthodox because I think that there's a lot of Christian history that I have missed out on growing up. I am a Protestant. I'm an evangelical, Seventh Days Adventist, and you will never find another one like me. And I did just boast just there because, like, I say it how it is, and I'm going to stand for the truth. A lot of our church infrastructure has been infiltrated by these people, by a lot of Zionist J money, government money, because I got a lot of new, beautiful subscribers, and I'm so grateful for everybody who is subscribing. Now, before I get to that, yes, the text messages are real. So we are going to look at Candace's reaction to the text messages being real. We're going to look at the reaction online. I mean, this was crazy. I was literally in the middle of taping the first video, and then that popped up, and I was like, oh, wow, breaking news right now. So let's go ahead and get into it right away without further ado.
Show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friends' trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in that first... I
want you to know he's extremely nervous when he's talking. I can actually saw his left cheek, that's his left, kind of twitch a little bit. I'm telling you, he is extremely nervous as he's talking. Just pay attention.
In those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But here we are. So one of the reasons, Blake, that I'm glad to have this now public, it was not mine to share publicly, but one of the criticisms we've received is that we don't care, we're not investigating every lead, we're not looking under every stone, and that somehow we're just like, sweeping things under the rug. And when I say that we want justice for Charlie more than anybody else, I really mean it, and no stone unturned. I mean, I don't know if you want to chime in on that part alone, but I have more to say.
Yeah, it has been so frustrating to have people blow up about this. Yeah. And I've certainly stated publicly, the reason I haven't weighed in on things is I am an eyewitness to events, and they've said, don't comment on things because anything you say can mess that up. I don't want to mess up any trial for the person who did this.
That's 1,000% right. And I will say I wasn't an eyewitness. I was not there. I flew to Utah immediately. to be with the family and the team, but I was not an eyewitness. So there's that. But I am aware that in my role as spokesman for Turning Point USA, which is another hat I wear, that things I say, I'm cognizant of the fact that things I say could negatively impact an ongoing investigation. All right. But I will weigh in specifically on this issue of Israel, because I know there's a lot of fascination. And I just want to say that, you know, we have to let free speech be our North Star here, okay? Charlie was adamantly free speech, and I am not personally going to impugn anybody's character who is asking questions and looking for answers, all right? And I will say that that text chain is consistent with public frustrations that he voiced.
Now, I have to cut in because this girl has copyrighted me before in a very egregious manner, so I have to cut in so that it doesn't, appear that I'm just playing her show. But I did play this clip earlier in my last video. I'm going to give him another 30 seconds, and then I want to go straight to her reaction. But I just wanted to let you guys know that. That's why I'm cutting in.
Many times, and I know, Blake, you were in the trenches on a lot of this stuff because we were workshopping how we were going to do the tour and what he's going to get asked about Israel, what was he going to say. And this is consistent with things that he told his friends, people that are, in the wider movement, about his wrestle that he was going. And so I just want to say, what is the truth about the way Charlie felt about Israel? Well, it's complicated and it's nuanced, and it was a wrestle that was going on for months. And it's probably somewhere between the BB letter and the text.
So what do we think? Okay, obviously, you can tell he's anxious. You can tell he's nervous speaking about this. I am sure it was positively frantic at Turning Point USA yesterday. I am sure he had very little sleep. And like I say, never the fun thing to be the spokesperson and also to be involved in the story. I can tell you right off the bat, he is telling the truth. He was not the person who shared that message with me. He also should know that he was not the only person who sent that message and sent messages around. So there are a lot circulating, some videos that are circulating. And he's being honest about that portion. I personally, as someone who knows Andrew Kolvet, I want to express how I feel. I hold it against him, actually, that he didn't share it with me. He knew I cried on the phone with Andrew. He knew how I was feeling. And then I went under a very, well, you could say a blitzkrieg, right? A heavy bombardment from people who he knows hated Charlie, who tried to stop Charlie, people who had no issues showing up to his memorial. I mean, really gross stuff, who were attacking me. And he could have at least provided some cover. Now, I'm not saying that I need help, but sometimes it's nice to offer somebody a lifeboat when they're being attacked for telling the truth, right? So I do want to say that. Also, I'm glad that Andrew responded correctly, because I was going to say this when Blake's like, well, the investigation's ongoing. That text message has nothing to do with an investigation whatsoever. It has to do with the broader question of people feeling that Charlie's legacy is intentionally being hijacked by Israel. I never stated that Israel killed Charlie. Anybody that's been watching this investigative series, we've come up, there hasn't even been an Israeli name that's popped up in this investigation. There's only been one Jewish person, I think, that's popped up thus far in this investigation, which is George Zinn, decoy boy. So they're just saying that. I just wanted to say that he was under a tremendous amount of pressure.
So this is why I cannot take this girl all the way serious. I can't do it. I cannot. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't. Listen, I'm not, for the people who are watching, who might be coming over from her camp, shout out to y'all and thank you for coming here, okay? I am not here to bash somebody, right? Shout out to her for putting out the text message and putting them on Front Street, right? The problem is, again, two things. So now it's like I can't even stay stuck on Andrew as much, which I am going to come back to Andrew. But how long did you have that? Number two, you're saying that there's videos and there's more things circulating around. I don't know how you say this is not part of the investigation. That's why I don't trust anybody doing anything. I'm sorry. Did y'all hear that correctly? Candace Owens said that you don't have to worry about it being part of an investigation because, this is not about the investigation. So what are we doing? Oh, what's the big deal then? So why are you mad about what Nick said then? It's the same thing. Okay, well, Charlie got mad because people didn't want to give him money. And that's why he said he's just going to fall back, right? That's how that reads. All right, nothing to see here then. You're literally walking back everything you've been doing. She has not specifically said Israel ended Charlie Kirk, but she implied it in so many ways. Breaking news. This is from, because I think she's still on. And so she's trickling all this stuff down. So Candace Owens just revealed that 24 hours before Charlie Kirk was dropped, he messaged people that he, quote, thought he was going to be dropped. I can't use that word on YouTube, sorry. She says 3 sources, including a TPUSA donor, confirmed to her that Charlie said in a message, quote, they were going to drop him. So if the donor knew this, and I think I have an idea who the donor was, and it's just too much to keep up with. Now I'm just gonna have to come back to y'all with what TPUSA is doing next in the name of Charlie Kirk. It's just too much to keep up with. It just is. I'm not like, I mean, we need to talk about it. I'm not gonna stop talking about it because there's a real investigation that needs to happen here, a real one. People had motives, okay? And so now, if she's gonna provide receipts for something like that, right? What is going on? What is going on? I heard there was a donor that came in, like an older donor. I think I heard this from Mr. Letgo. There was an older donor who was, I think like a 75-year-old white man who started giving Charlie Kirk money and started putting him D to what was going on with, this so-called nation, Ben Shapiro's favorite country. I have to be careful. This is a very deep video. So I think that a lot of that, I think that might be the donor that might be, able to get her this stuff. Well, here is the clip of her saying this.
One more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay? He did not express that to me, so I am
Sorry.
the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
I'll leave her alone. Some of it has to be off record. I understand because of other people. I mean, they're going to know about that white man if I know about him. But I'll leave her alone on that one because now there's going to be more. There's going to be more. It is what it is. I'm not going to keep on giving her this whole hard time about holding on to information. I just have to accept the world that I live in. I just do. I'm not trained. This part I'm not trained for. I'm not. I am a registered nurse. I'm a nurse. I'm a Christian. So I feel like when you have treatments, when you have things that can help people or something, you should just go out and get it out there, and not wait and sit on it. But it is what it is. And I have to give the onus really to the people who are doing it, like Andrew Kolvet. Now, as for Erika Kirk and TPUSA coming back to what are they going to sue every last one of us? I mean, I don't have any money. Okay. I don't know. Right? Guys, if you want to join the memberships, because I guess they're coming for me, you're more than welcome to do so. But if they want to come after people who are, you can't shut us up. You cannot. This is huge. I still can't get over it. This video has gone over 45 minutes, and I don't even know what I'm going to do to edit it down. There's still so much I want to say. But at the end of the day, let us not forget the Lord. Christ is King. Christ is first. Let us remember that. God is in control. And I thank God that at least, even if it's not the way I would have did it, but at least we have Candace Owens, who is going to trickle down the information and get it out to us in some fashion. We don't have to agree all the time, but I can say I have to thank God for what the Lord provides us with. We've addressed Christian Zionism and Christ is King. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.